Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 7 o'clock main news. In tonight's headlines, the National Assembly Speaker tasks the State Audit Bureau with inviting Kuwaiti citizens to provide any documents or files related to the recently rumoured suspicious financial transactions or corruption cases within a month from now. A suicide bomb blast in central Baghdad today kills at least 9 people and injures 20. A gunman opens fire on a bus transporting military hospital staff in Yemen's city of Aden, killing 8 people, including 2 women. And gas talks falter as Ukraine mourns 49 killed in an attack. His Highness the Emir Sheikh Sabah Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah received this morning at Sif Palace His Highness the Crown Prince Sheikh Nawaf Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah. His Highness the Emir then received the National Assembly Speaker Marzouk Ali Al Ghanem. His Highness the Emir also received His Highness Sheikh Jaber Al Mbarak Al Hamad Al Sabah, the Prime Minister. Finally, His Highness the Emir received the First Deputy Premier and Foreign Minister Sheikh Sabah Al Khalid Al Hamad Al Sabah. His Highness the Emir Sheikh Sabah Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah received today noon at Sif Palace the Minister of Health, Acting Minister of Education and Acting Minister of Higher Education, Dr. Ali Saad Al Abedi, who introduced to His Highness the Emir the newly appointed Assistant Under-Secretary and Legal Advisor of the Ministry of Health, Dr. Mahmoud Haji Muhammad Al Abdul Hadi. The meeting was attended by the Deputy Minister of Amir Diwan Affairs, Sheikh Ali Jarrah Al Sabah. His Highness the Emir Sheikh Sabah Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah received at noon today at Sif Palace the Chairman of the International Islamic Charitable Organization, Envoy of UN Secretary General for Humanitarian Affairs and Advisor at the Emiri Diwan, Dr. Abdullah Ma'toug Al Ma'toug. During the meeting, Al Ma'toug presented His Highness the Emir with a certificate he had been granted by the Executive Director of the UN World Food Programme, Eartharin Cousin, in recognition of His Highness the Emir's contributions to global humanitarian work. His Highness the Crown Prince Sheikh Nawaf Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah this morning received at his Sif Palace Diwan the National Assembly Speaker Marzouk Ali Al Ghanem. His Highness the Crown Prince then received His Highness Sheikh Jaber Al Mbarak Al Hamad Al Sabah, the Prime Minister. His Highness the Crown Prince also received the First Deputy Premier and Foreign Minister Sheikh Sabah Al Khalid Al Hamad Al Sabah. His Highness the Crown Prince later received the Deputy Premier, Minister of Interior and Acting Minister of Awqaf and Islamic Affairs Sheikh Mohammed Al Khalid Al Hamad Al Sabah. His Highness the Crown Prince also received the Deputy Premier and Minister of Defence Sheikh Ali Jarrah Al Sabah. His Highness the Crown Prince then received the Minister of Information and Minister of State for Youth Affairs Sheikh Salman Sabah Salim Mahmoud Sabah. Finally, His Highness the Crown Prince received the Minister of State for Cabinet Affairs and Acting Minister of Justice, Sheikh Mohammed Abdullah Mbarak Al Sabah. His Highness the Crown Prince Sheikh Nawaf Ahmed Al-Jabir Al-Sabah received this morning at Saif Palace the Minister of Health, Acting Minister of Education and Acting Minister of Higher Education, Dr. Ali Saad Al-Abedi, who introduced His Highness the Crown Prince, the newly appointed Assistant Under Secretary and Legal Advisor of the Ministry of Health, Dr. Mahmoud Haji Muhammad Al-Abdul Hadi. National Assembly Speaker Marzouk Ali Al-Ghanem announced that he tasked the State Audit Bureau with inviting Kuwaiti citizens to provide any documents or files related to the recently rumoured suspicious financial transactions or corruption cases within a month from now. Al-Ghanem said in a press statement today that this move came after a proposal submitted by a number of MPs and was approved by the National Assembly during last Wednesday's session, where the Parliament discussed the governmental procedures regarding the accusations against the three authorities and the documents that appeared within a gathering in Al-Irada Square last Tuesday. Speaker Al-Ghanem clarified that the State Audit Bureau will prepare a detailed report in this regard, and it will be supported by documents and results that will be published in the Daily Gazette in preparation for referring it to the Parliament and Cabinet. He said if the report showed any case of suspicion of a crime punishable by law, then the Audit Bureau President or any Kuwaiti citizen will report it to the public prosecution in order to take proper judicial measures. Meanwhile, Al-Ghanem noted that he had spoken with His Highness Sheikh Jabir al-Mubarak al-Hamad al-Sabah, the Prime Minister, about assigning the Public Authority for Anti-Corruption, with appealing to citizens for presenting any documents related to corruption cases or suspicious financial transactions. The National Assembly Speaker Marzouk Ali Al-Ghanem, accompanied by a host of MPs, headed for Beirut today to inspect the status and conditions of Syrian refugees in Lebanon in his capacity as chairman of the Arab Inter-Parliamentary Union. The visit of Speaker Al-Ghanem comes at the invitation of the Middle East and North Africa sector of the Higher Commission for Refugees Affairs, affiliated with the UN and in coordination with the Speaker of the Lebanese Parliament, Nabih Berri. The delegation accompanying the Speaker Al-Ghanem comprises MPs Dr. Yusuf Al-Zalzala, Dr. Mohammed Al-Huwaila and Saif Al-Azmi, chairman of the International Islamic Charitable Organization, Dr. Abdullah Al-Ma'toug, as well as representatives of several charitable organizations. During his visit, the National Assembly Speaker is scheduled to meet with Speaker of the Lebanese Parliament, Nabih Berri, to discuss the latest developments in Lebanon and the region, in addition to tackling means of boosting bilateral relations. Speaker Al-Ghanem was seen off at the airport by the Minister of Oil and Minister of State for Parliamentary Affairs, Dr. Ali Al-Amir, Parliament Secretary General Allam Ali Al-Kandari, Lebanon's Ambassador to Kuwait, Dr. Khidr Al-Halwa, the Parliament's Assistant Secretary General for MPs Affairs, Public Relations and Media, Sami Shaya, and senior employees of the National Assembly General Secretariat. The National Assembly Speaker paid a similar visit to Al-Zatari camp for Syrian refugees in Jordan last year. His Highness Sheikh Jabir al-Mubarak al-Hamad al-Sabah, the Prime Minister, received today at Saif Palace the Minister of Health, Acting Minister of State for Education and Acting Minister of Higher Education, Dr. Ali Saad Al-Abedi, who introduced to His Highness the Prime Minister the newly appointed Assistant Under Secretary and Legal Advisor of the Ministry of Health, Dr. Mahmoud Haji Muhammad Al-Abdul Hadi. The First Deputy Premier and Foreign Minister Sheikh Sabah Al-Khalid Al-Hamad Al-Sabah received today credentials of the newly appointed Ambassador of the United Arab Emirates to Kuwait, Irhama Hussein Al-Zaabi. The meeting was attended by the Foreign Under Secretary Khalid Sulaiman Jarallah, the head of the First Deputy Premier and Foreign Minister's Office, Ambassador Sheikh Dr. Ahmed Nasir Muhammad Al-Sabah, and the head of the Protocol Department, Ambassador Dari Al-Ajran. The First Deputy Premier and Foreign Minister Sheikh Sabah Al-Khalid Al-Hamad Al-Sabah received today credentials of the newly appointed Brazilian Ambassador to Kuwait, Antonio Carlos Pedro. The meeting was attended by the Foreign Under Secretary Khalid Sulaiman Jarallah, the head of the First Deputy Premier and Foreign Minister's Office, Ambassador Sheikh Dr. Ahmed Nasir Muhammad Al-Sabah, and the head of the Protocol Department, Ambassador Dari Al-Ajran. World Blood Donors Day is celebrated on the 14th of June every year and serves to raise awareness of the need for safe blood and to thank blood donors for their voluntary life-saving gifts of blood. under the patronage of the Minister of Information and Minister of State for Youth Affairs Sheikh Salman Sabah Hassan Mahmoud Sabah, the Central Blood Bank and Club 25, a youth-orientated campaign, organised a campaign at Kuwait National Library. Our correspondent Rinwa Jabouri was there and has the following report.
Focus of this year's World Blood Donor Day campaign is Save Blood for Saving Mothers. Every day, about 800 women die from pregnancy or childbirth-related complications. Severe bleeding during delivery and after childbirth is a major cause of mortality, morbidity and long-term disability. The goal of the campaign is to increase awareness about why timely access to safe blood and blood products is essential for all countries as part of a comprehensive approach to prevent maternal deaths.
Today is actually we are celebrating the World Blood Donor Day. It's an international event that is celebrated every year by the international organizations that are concerned about blood donation. They have chosen 14th of June because it's the birthday of Karl Landsteiner, which is the scientist who founded the science of blood groups. He discovered the blood groups. And to honor him, we have chosen, the world has chosen this date in particular to honor and thank all the donors around the world who are saving millions of donors around the world, saving millions of lives around the world each year. Every year, the world chooses one slogan, a different slogan for the event, and this year they have chosen Save Blood for Saving Mothers, and a more, emotional slogan, which is giving life for those who give it to us. We here in Club 25, we decided to celebrate. We've been celebrating the World Blood Donor Day for the past 5 years since Club 25 was founded in Kuwait. And today, again, we are celebrating it. It's under the patronage of the Ministry of Youth, and with the presence of many supporters for the Club 25 and the Blood Bank. We have also arranged a blood drive here where people are donating blood before the event, again to show people how easy it is to donate blood and to give blood and to give life for those who need it.
Club 25 is a part of an international initiative that was launched more than 10 years ago in Africa, particularly from the state of Zimbabwe, in which the club succeeded in increasing the number of blood donors and creating a generation of mature, conscious youth who can maintain a healthy lifestyle and aware of the importance of donating blood.
Donating blood is very important for ourselves in the beginning, like for our blood circulation and so on. Second, every drop of blood we donate with, it might save a life. Many accidents are happening in the street, a lot of leukemias and all. These people just need our blood. Our blood bank here in Kuwait is not capable for this number of the demand of blood here in the country. That's why we have to. It's a must, actually.
Club 25 Kuwait branch was launched in mid-2010 to be the first of its kind in the Middle East, for Kuwait to become the first Arab country to establish the Middle East Club 25. World Blood Donor Day is celebrated every year on June 14 and serves to raise the importance of the need for safe blood and blood products. From the Kuwait National Library, I'm English Jabouri reporting to you for the English News.
A car bomb exploded in central Baghdad today, killing 10 and wounding more than 20. An eyewitness said the explosion occurred outside a shop selling military fatigues. According to Interior Ministry official, the attack was a roadside bomb, while a police officer said that was followed by a suicide bombing. Police said the suicide blast was carried out by an attacker wearing an explosives vest near Tahrir Square in the center of the Iraqi capital. Iraqi police have imposed strict security measures in the country's capital as sectarian tensions threaten to push Iraq back towards civil war in the worst crisis since US forces withdrew at the end of 2011. Israel launched a wide military campaign in the West Bank in search of 3 missing teenagers who disappeared near Hebron. The 3 are students at a religious school in Gish Etzion, a settlement planted on the lands of Hebron, south of the West Bank, deemed illegal by the international community. More on the following report by Fatma Abdul Karim from Gaza.
Israel imposed a complete closure around Hebron and its surrounding villages, towns and refugee camps today and leveled up movement restrictions across the West Bank, setting up dozens of checkpoints between Palestinian cities and towns. Overnight, Israel arrested about 80 Palestinians as part of its operation to find 3 Israeli teenagers who went missing near Hebron since Thursday night. Israel accused Hamas to stand behind the kidnapping and started a collective punishment against the residents of Hebron in particular by banning their movement within the West Bank or through the only border crossing outside of the West Bank.
We are before a large Israeli offensive, which is escalating as we observe large number of forces. It seems that it will last long. The Israeli army is using the search for the missing and accused to carry out collective punishment on the residents of Hebron by banning their travel, closure, banning prisoner visits and overnight raids.
During its overnight arrest campaigns, Israel took away parliamentarians and former detainees, mostly belonging to Hamas and Islamic Jihad, 2 factions Israel labels as terrorists. Israel named its military operation Each House and Bring Back Our Boys, and the situation is expected to escalate seriously as limited raids are taking place at the entrances of Hebron. No Palestinian faction announced its relation or responsibility to the incident of the missing Israeli settlers, and no evidence was made public by Israel.
Israel is trying to blame the Palestinian Authority for the kidnapping of the 3 Israelis, and these allegations in fact serves in order to cover the Israeli intelligence failure of preventing such an operation. Besides that, Israel is launching an incitement campaign on the international level to bear the Palestinian unity government the responsibility for such action.
Palestinian security were given directives to fully cooperate with Israeli forces in this search over the weekend, but no information in that regard was released. The 3 teenagers aged 16 and 19 are settlers in internationally deemed illegal Gush Etzion settlement near Hebron and are students at a religious school. As an intensive Israeli operation is underway, another Israeli propaganda campaign is also taking place. It is unclear, however, how long this operation would last or what would be its limits. Fatma Abdul Karim, Kuwait TV, Ramallah, Palestine.
A gunman opened fire on a bus transporting military hospital staff in the southern Yemeni city of Aden today, killing 8 people, including 2 women, and wounding a dozen others. The attack on the bus in the commercial district of Saila took place early in the day before the rush hour. Security officials had earlier said more than 1 gunman was involved in the attack, which they said bore the hallmarks of Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula. Officials said the bus was carrying 20 nurses, pharmacists, cleaners and other staff working at the military hospital in Aden. Ukraine said it expected to resume talks with Russia on a gas pricing dispute today, with a deadline looming for Kiev to pay a $1.95 billion debt by Monday or have its gas supplies cut off. Russia and Ukraine disagree how much Kiev should pay for the natural gas it receives from Russia, and Russian state-owned natural gas producer Gazprom plans to switch to an advance payment system if Kiev doesn't start paying its bills. Ukraine has accepted a European Commission compromise proposal of $326 per 1,000 cubic meters of gas for an interim period, while Moscow has offered Kiev a $100 reduction to $385 around the average amount paid by Russia's European clients, but still an increase from the $268.50 agreed in December of 2013. The decision to raise the price, which had been clearly flagged by President Vladimir Putin, ended a discount that had been agreed in December before the crisis over the ouster of Ukraine's Moscow-backed President Viktor Yanukovych. Meanwhile, tensions rose after a Ukrainian military plane was shot down by separatists, killing all 49 people on board. Kuwait Stock Exchange indices retreated collectively at the close of today's session as main stocks head down amid strong speculative transactions. The price index slipped to nearly 7,142 points, a loss of 101.71 points. The weighted index shed 1.25% or 6.1 points to close at 481.2 points, while the KSX 15 closed at 1,173 points, down by 18.35 points. Gulf Finance House retreated 3.95% and Agility drew back by 3.49%. The trading session saw 3,798 deals worth just over 24 million Kuwaiti dinars, with some 151.45 million shares changing hands. The Kuwait Stock Exchange ended the last week's operations in the red zone amid selling pressures and the profit collection operations, as well as political tension escalation. In an attempt to improve the collaboration efforts on the humanitarian level, the International Islamic Charitable Organization, or the IICO, and the International Organization for Migration, or the IOM, signed a cooperation agreement. The agreement was signed by Dr. Abdullah Al-Ma'toug, the chairman of the IICO, and Mrs. Iman Reqat, the head of IOM mission in Kuwait at the UN House in Mishrif. More on the following report by Hiba Abdurrahman.
The International Organization for Migration, IOM, and the International Islamic Charitable Organization, IICO, signed a cooperation agreement to enhance the collaboration between the two bodies in the field of humanitarian, educational, and social efforts. Dr. Abdullah Al-Ma'toug, the head of the IICO, praised the agreement, saying that it's considered an important step in boosting the humanitarian efforts.
We were pleased. We had the honor to sign a cooperation agreement today with the IICO, the International Islamic Charitable Organization in Kuwait, with the International Organization for Migration. This cooperation agreement actually will emphasize on building capacity of the workers, all the workers works in the IICO, and share our international standard expertise with the MCOF, which is the IOM migration operation for emergencies, which we already implemented during the Libya crisis, which ensured that it was very effective and helped more than 270,000 laborers were stranded in the borders of Libya. Also, the agreement which we signed today will enhance and build the capacity of the workers through lots of joint projects like awareness campaigns towards human rights, counter-trafficking, and also to train the workers in the IICO on field trips. We'll take them to field trips on our offices in the region because, as you may know, IOM had more than 480 offices around the world in more than 170 countries. And we have, for the Syrian crisis, we have field offices inside Syria and field offices all the neighboring countries. So we will share our international experience with the workers in the IICO to benefit them during the relief aid, inshallah.
The agreement aims at strengthening and enhancing the efforts that are exerted in the humanitarian and social fields to help and aid the displaced people in and out the affected states. This agreement came as part of the series of agreements and referendums that the IOM has signed recently with different local and international organizations and entities to improve its efforts, especially during the crisis that struck many countries in the present time. Signing this cooperation agreement between the International Islamic Charitable Organization, or the IICO, and the International Organization for Migration, IOM, paves the way for more agreements and cooperation in the field of social and humanitarian efforts. From the UN House in Mishrif area, this is Hiba Abdurrahman reporting for English News.
For a chance to see our reports again, please visit our YouTube channel at MOI Kuwait News. And to recap tonight's news, here are the headlines once again. The National Assembly Speaker tasked the State Audit Bureau with inviting Kuwaiti citizens to provide any documents or files related to the recently rumoured suspicious financial transactions or corruption cases within a month from now. A suicide bomb blast in central Baghdad today kills at least 9 people and injures 20. A gunman opens fire on a bus transporting military hospital staff in the Yemeni city of Aden, killing 8 people, including 2 women. And gas talks falter as Ukraine mourns 49 killed in an attack. Thank you for joining us. Have a good evening.